All right, Keith, tell them all the juicy things we talk about.
Oh, there's nothing we didn't not talk about. We talked about Alec Baldwin accidentally shooting two people on set and killing one, but then we get into the fun. Love and sarcasm, drinking and ass tampons, the dangers of alien life, babies, how couples interact together. It's a good time. Enjoy. Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
Paige writes, I got an email today announcing that Ryan Hamilton is doing a show at a local venue. The name wasn't familiar, so I went to the handy dandy Keith and the Girl app, typed in his name. Why not? Turns out Ryan was on 2 episodes in 2009 and was on Mike Kaplan's Hangout with Me in 2013. I'm listening to the shows now, and I'm going to buy a ticket. Sweet. They write.
Nice. I love it. Let them know where your Keith and the Girl shit.
I love the app. Today's guests. Oh, Chemda, I've been excited all week. This is not an exaggeration.
This has also been a request.
Yes.
Very specifically.
Multiple times, as a matter of fact. First of all, from the podcast Great Hang, Micah Fox.
Hey.
She sounded different for a second.
I know. Well, he got it. I have a hype man now.
And from the podcast Great Hang, Tim McLaughlin. How you doing, Tim?
Oh, I'm good. Oh, yes. Thank you, Micah. I'm doing great. I can't believe so many people requested to have me on. That's awesome.
Well, they follow you, then they know the dynamic, and they think it's very interesting. And I am a fan of the podcast Great Hang.
Plus, for I think over a decade, our listeners have been catching us up on Micah Fox's dating life. So we knew about you through them. And so, yeah, they keep us posted.
Damn, it definitely wasn't me piping up.
Yeah. Your fans are like, hey, Micah's dating another fat, sloppy bitch. I think this is pretty good.
All right. So you get the gist, right? Okay. Yeah. We're going to really get into that. First big news. Alec Baldwin was on a film set, and he was using a prop gun of a movie that he produced, and he killed a person. Cinematographer.
No, I'm going to go kill myself now. No, I'm going to go die by suicide right now. I saw something about that, and I'm like, I'm going to pretend that was a dream. I definitely didn't hear that something like that is real. How, okay.
It's
now
crazy
what?
Because he's always been kind of violent and threatening, and you just assume that if he's going to kill someone and be on purpose, huge.
So you're saying you think it's on purpose?
No, absolutely not. I think this is just karma gave it back to him. Is this what you were trying to do?
Right.
Yes. Sometimes we, are on a road that we don't even know, but subconsciously it led him there. But I don't get how a real gun could be in a prop room.
He also shot. It wasn't a real gun in a prop room. It was a prop gun, but prop guns still have gunpowder, and you still don't shoot them blanks at people. I guess as close as he did, or at all, probably.
But he was told to do that, right?
Yes. Well, I don't know. No, because the cinematographer isn't in the shot, right? No pun.
It depends. If he's shooting toward the camera, then the cinematographer would be behind the camera. This is me justifying what happened. I have no idea.
They were saying it was a Brandon Lee shrapnel type situation where something was lodged in the gun and got shot out with other stuff.
I see.
They're still looking into it. I just watched a video on it before we came on.
Thank you for doing your research. Micah never did. Let's delve into that.
I watched that
later.
video with him while I was also at work.
Well,
yeah, I don't work, so I'm just out watching videos all day, doing my research, being a good guest.
You know what? It's actually really fucked up is last night. So we get late at night. I have an early morning call this morning, and I'm just drifting off to dreamland. And Tim's like, it's crazy. Alec Baldwin killed someone. I'm like, what? Oh, I can't be thinking about that.
Then I said, good night, sweet princess.
You're so
He's
helpful.
a nice boy.
Yeah.
Also, but it was more than one person that got hit also. So the director of photography died, but the director was also shot. He just left the hospital. So is somebody saying ow, and then he's so lost in the scene, he keeps going?
Well, was the camera even rolling? Like, I assume, but
I
why
don't
else
know
would you
that.
shoot off a prop gun? I mean, maybe just rehearsal, but
I have a theory.
Yes, Tim,
I have
you
a
saw the
theory.
video, please.
Well, this has nothing to do with the video. This is a theory I've come up with knowing people that work on movie sets. I know one guy actually, and I guess they're all striking now because they're not making enough money and they want actual hours that they can get. You know, all the prop guys are going to strike soon. So maybe this possibly disgruntled worker may have lodged something in the gun. Now that's my theory. That's my working theory at the moment.
He's called into the FBI, but they're not taking, they keep hanging up.
And I got to be honest with you guys. I think it might be that dastardly fiend Moriarty.
I also saw, by the way, you did great. You did great, Tim. Now this in the show.
Thanks. No one likes Sherlock Holmes and Moriarty. I guess I'll go kill myself too.
It was a relevant reference that no one had been talking about yet.
No. And Micah, of course, I gave him this look like idiot. We just started. I do want to talk about the dynamic on the show. And is there ever anything? I wondered for years, what would it be like to date Micah Fox? Is there ever a loving moment? Or is it all a sarcasm and, I wouldn't say passive aggressive.
Do you know what?
When you wonder about
this? What's funny about that is that this is how people describe Keith. So please talk to the mirror, both of you.
Micah, I'd like you to describe how you're loving, please. Go on.
Well, I just wonder when Keith wonders about this,
yes.
What are you doing? Are you alone at home? It's late at night. And you're thinking about my loving moments. Yeah. I think I have love in my heart enough for one other.
What a sad thing to say. I think I have love in my heart. No, Micah is very nice. I was supposed to get surgery, but I was too fat to get my surgery because my blood pressure is too high. So Micah was very nice and supportive after that for about a day. And then after that, the shame just kept starting. She kept shaming me and now my blood pressure's down. I'm at 120/80. So I'll be able to get my surgery again in December if I keep it up.
Well,
what's the surgery?
I got polyps all in my nose. They're going to scrape them out. And then my deviated septum's real bad. So they're going to fix that.
You want us to leave you two alone while you're talking this way? This is super hot.
I don't, ladies.
Most deviated septum the doctor had seen. So pretty fucking cool on that one. But they're going to fix it. And then I'll be able to breathe out of my nose for the first time in like 20 years.
Oh, no. Wait until you smell Micah. Ooh.
I know.
We've discussed it.
She does not shower. It is nasty.
Maybe those polyps are doing you a favor.
I know. I'm thinking. I think my body was like, it's going to keep the blood pressure high just so I can't get the surgery. I think it knows.
What if your blood pressure's high from trying to pump around all that odor that it's trying to keep from your nose?
They said to you.
Go ahead.
No, come the first, please.
I get why you're asking about the sarcasm and are there moments of vulnerability
ever?
But you're not asking Tim that, and he also speaks in sarcasm and like self-deprecation and
I feel like Tim's
jokes.
Just trying to survive. But is that true? Is Tim the right? Does it go both ways? And did it go both ways in the beginning?
I would say I'm more vulnerable than Tim.
Yeah. I just got a text from my mom and she was like, your grandma is dying now. So, and I was like, hey, Micah, my grandma's dying. And she's like, uh-oh.
I was like, oh, do you want to say goodbye? He's like, no.
Fuck her.
So I think it works.
Yeah. What gentle creature did you see when you looked at Tim? It's not, he's not
soft looking.
Yeah.
Who said I love you first? You guys get there yet?
No.
Yeah, we've been living together for over a year. We're still edging that.
We only say I love you to Toe the cat. That's the only person we say I love you to in the house. I said I love you first because Micah was being a bitch and I had to calm her down.
Did it calm her down? This is such a nice narrative.
I also wasn't being a bitch.
No,
he's making it sound like we were in a fight and then he said, I love you to fix the fight, which is not at all what was happening. We were shit-faced at a comedy show and having a hilarious disagreement with
Jeffrey Gurian.
Your friend, your friend Jeffrey Gurian. And I forget, what were we arguing about?
I blacked out. I don't remember, but I remember I told Myka I love her. I was taking her to the beach for her birthday, and I was going to tell her there because I'm a romantic, but I got all hammered and said it before then.
And did it just come out because you were so excited about the repartee and like the back and forth and the jokes and the good time?
I was excited about the Budweisers and the repartee. That was what did it.
Yeah, but meanwhile, he had a whole romantic weekend planned for saying I love you, which is pretty tender.
Yeah, nice of me. The last romantic thing I was able to do before we were shut down.
Well, did you cancel the trip? Because you already said I love you. Did you need the beach?
No, this was 2.5 years ago. No, because we were staying at a casino. I'm not canceling that. I'm going to go gamble.
How long have you been together? How long have you been together now?
2.5 years.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And the surgery, you had to lose weight to get face surgery?
I just got to get my blood pressure down and I have to eat better and I quit drinking. So I mean, I'm just going to lose weight anyways doing that.
And also because he's fat. I think if you're going to lower your blood pressure, you might as well just kind of, get along little doggy, fix the rest of it.
Is it hurtful when Micah constantly calls you fat, Tim?
No, because I got a mirror. It's not like I see a skinny man and she goes, look at you, you fat piece of shit. I see a fat piece of shit. And she just says what it is. Like, that's the thing I don't understand where people are like, don't call me fucking fat. I'm like, you are fucking fat. What do you want? What do you want from me? Like, you want me to be like oh, I'm sorry. You're the skinniest person I've ever seen in my fucking life.
How did these conversations come up? I just mean with each other. I'm with my partner. I'm in my home. I'm in my safe space. And I'm a big fat pig. I think it would get to me eventually.
No? I mean, what are you why?
What can you do?
I think it's nicer than coming at it seriously. Like, honestly, calling someone like a fat piece of shit, I think is nicer than being like, Tim, your weight is really concerning. Just like,
oh, if that happened, I'd be furious and leave. If she tried to intervention me on my weight, I'd be like, no, thank you. I'm out of here.
It looks like God did that for you.
But he didn't know.
He sent you a doctor who wouldn't sign off on a surgery.
First of all, thank you.
I meant he as in God.
I meant she is in God. Because I'm a feminist and a hero.
That you're for the surgery, you're quitting drinking, right? Is that what you said?
I've toned it way back. Like, I went to the Tonight Show with my buddy Tom the other week and I got pretty hammered over there. But other than that, I haven't drank since then. So in the last 2.5 weeks, I've had one night of drinking.
Okay. How does it feel? Because you are a big drinker. I hear her calling you a drunk all the time on the show.
Yeah. Well, it feels fine. It's okay. I like it. It's fine. I can get without booze. That's not a big deal.
Have you found that you want like more chocolate or sugary things?
Oh yeah, always want the candy, baby.
Because like when Keith quit drinking, and a lot of people who quit drinking, they miss the sugar or want to replace the addiction. Does that happen right away?
I knew Ben and Jerry personally. Yeah.
I'm now a shareholder. They fly me out to Vermont every 2 to 3 weeks because of how much ice cream I've eaten. I want candy all the time. Every time I see gummy bears, gummy worms, anything gummy, I grab it and then I have to remind myself about my blood pressure and I put it back. And I always want to buy it.
How many times have you pissed your bed from drinking?
Only one time.
Okay.
And it was because they put me on this new blood pressure medicine that's also a diuretic. And so I pissed the bed because of the diuretic, not because, it was also the drinking was the problem.
Mm-hmm. Well, are you supposed to be drinking on that medication?
No doctor recommends it, so who knows? No. They ever say this one's good for drinking.
He's had multiple doctors be like, you have to get your drinking under control for your blood pressure.
This is why you don't tell the doctors the truth.
I'm familiar with this.
Yeah, because then you get an honest response on how to help yourself.
They're losers. It's like, I'm sorry, you had to study for 10 years. I studied in the School of Comedy where I got a minor in drinking and a major in being not successful.
So what are you doing with your days and your work? And Are you a full-time
Oh,
comedian?
don't give me that. Do not.
I think
dare you.
I think it's fun to watch you create a lie.
well, during
It
the
has
day,
to be frustrating when she comes home, right, from working, and
yeah,
sees
she
you on the
comes
couch.
home. She stays home.
I work from home still.
Okay, so then she's right there all the time, and you're doing nothing. That's got to be frustrating.
Well, I edit all of our podcasts. I make all the clips. I do clips for myself. I've been going out and working out during the day. Sometimes, other days I haven't. The last couple days I have not.
You can't claim that as your daily activity.
Yeah, are you listening?
He signed up for a gym membership like 3 or 4 weeks ago. How many times have you been? Twice.
No, I have not been twice. First of all, that's crazy. I've probably been like 6, 7 times. Yes, probably.
Liar.
Probably.
Can't believe you lied on Keith and the Girl, the most honest podcast on the internet.
First of all, twice is crazy. I've gone like 70, maybe 60, 70 times.
Tim, this is irrelevant. This is not a workday activity. We asked
I don't make any money.
Yeah, because also I work full time and I work out way more than Tim.
Tim, why don't you have your shit
I
together?
game. I play game. I
You
game
want
sometimes.
from me? What are you, 12? What do you want from me? Every other question was fine. How's your fucking nostril cancer? How's your blood pressure? But not what do you do for a living? The fuck?
Well, I make all these. I make all the clips. I do that. That takes hours, and then like I'll make clips for myself. I'll think about my act. Sometimes I'll game and think about my act.
Do you know that you said you clip things 4 times as 4 different items?
That's all I've got,
clips.
really.
Yeah.
That's all I've really got.
How long does that take?
I didn't know. Did you guys text before this? Is this like
no?
an
This
intervention
is
to get me
regular
a damn drum?
adult behavior, Tim. This is
Next
what people
Thursday, I'm
ask.
filming a commercial for $1,000.
Congrats next Thursday.
That's pretty good. That's good.
Also, Tim didn't set that commercial up, and also he agreed to it without knowing if they were going to pay him at all. And it's a commercial for a podcast he no longer does. So all of this is bullshit.
No. $1,000 going to be in my account will not
All
be
right.
bullshit. I'll tell you that.
Tim, I have another question. What's your fucking problem?
What's my problem?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I don't really got any problem. I guess if anything has the problem, it's society.
Right? Does it?
I'd never put it on me.
Is it tough
what's
to
wrong with
respect
this?
when you have to pay for every dinner? Is it tough to respect them, Micah?
Well, that's the thing is he pays for a lot of the dinners.
Okay.
He is so bad with money that he keeps up with me, and I don't know how. I think part of it is how he scammed the government out of money during the pandemic. No, I'm not allowed to say that.
No, we don't talk about that.
Okay, so then who knows?
I mean, you could talk about it, but I don't think we should preface it with the word scam.
Everything on Keith and the Girl is alleged.
Yes, I allegedly got money from the government for
his small business that he clearly works very hard on.
I also sell sports cards. I grade and sell sports cards.
That's true.
Do you give them all A's and then try to sell them?
Yes. I say, this is a good one. I go A+ for this one. And I put it on eBay. People are like, this got a Tim McLaughlin A+. Oh boy. I'm going to drop a couple grand on that baby.
Would
All
you?
right,
I hear
so
on
it
this.
sounds like you're fine. Michael, what's your fucking problem?
Thank you. Micah blames society.
What's my fucking problem? I don't know. How about I wake up and go to work and he's like gaming right next through the wall, and I have to be like, can you turn it down while you live the life of a child right next to me, and I have to watch it?
That's not true. I wake up way later than her and I game in the afternoon. It's not all in the morning.
It's sometimes in the afternoon.
Do you ever feel bad? Because that's tough if one person's not really working and then you hear the other person, turn on an Xbox. Do you ever cringe when you push it or push it quietly?
I think it's like,
Nope.
I don't want to work either. So it's like, I get it. If I didn't have I don't want to work either, but someone's got to keep the lights on.
Mm-hmm.
So we make $48 a month on our Patreon. I think I'll be fine.
But you
Those
have to
clips
share
are working
that.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've only had the Patreon for how long though?
A week and a half?
A week. So it's,
No, 3 weeks.
there we go.
Could you do
By
me a
this rate, we'll be pharaohs.
What explain to me the man pond? What kind of diaper contraption did you make? So you can pee in your pants?
this is not for peeing. It goes into your ass. So like, you hold your piss, right? Micah, you know about this kind of stuff. So I have problems with my ass where like a lot of times it's terribly bloody. But I haven't had these problems since I quit drinking. My shits have been pretty good, but
I was going to say your nose is going to get fixed too. Everything's going to go away by you quitting drinking. They're tricking you.
I know. But when I'm drinking, like if I'm real hungover on a day and I have to go, say I have to leave because we live like in Williamsburg, but say I have to go like to a show in like Astoria or something. Mm-hmm. And I got to be on the train for like an hour, right? So I'm on the train for an hour. My stomach's been upset all day. I'll probably shit about 7 times before I have to get on that train. I will take some like toilet paper or paper towels. I'll roll them up so they look like a tampon. Mm-hmm. And then I shove them into my ass crack so that if anything slides out, it doesn't actually hit my underwear or pants.
And you wonder why his ass is bleeding all the time. Wait, I think it's because you're putting Bounty up your fucking butt crack?
Serious question. Why not use a tampon? It's meant for insertion.
Micah says those are mommies and you don't touch those.
He's never asked me once.
Yeah, I've never asked.
Also, my thing is, I don't think the string would be long enough. I think it would go fucking right up and it would be gone forever.
I must not know anatomy. Is that true? No.
It could. You're not supposed to put it up your asshole because unlike the vaginal cavity, the cervix is going to keep it from going too far.
Okay.
Right. It's never going to get past the cervix into your uterus, but like your asshole just goes straight up to your mouth if you keep following it,
Okay. Okay. So then it could like jam it in there. And then instead of things exiting, they start piling up. Okay. Thank you for answering that. Sincerely.
That's why there are so many stories about nurses having like to pull shit out of people's asses because they stick it up there a little bit for the pleasure. And then like, it just like gets sucked right up in there and then you're fucked.
Honestly, Tim, you should make ass tampons because this seems like, like if you can get a string at the end plus, maybe a circle attached to it so that if it starts sucking up, it sort of stops itself,
a plug.
What we should make it normally contours to your butt cheeks. So it stays in the cheeks.
Do you ever,
most of the time,
are you ever in public? You want to be, spur of the moment. And you're like, somebody doesn't have a tampon in their asshole.
Yeah, and Micah's pants just fall off because they get so wet. It's like a waterfall, pushes them right down.
That must hurt so much that your ass is so sensitive and bloody and open with wounds.
Well, it did. It not normally.
It's like the fucking Civil War down there.
Not normally, but I was doing shows in Appleton, Wisconsin, and there was a guy in the audience, and he was like, hey, I own a sensory deprivation tank place. Do you want to do a sensory deprivation tank? And I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. I hate silence and the dark, so this will be perfect for me. So I was like, I got to just say yes to stuff. I can't be saying no to things all the time. No more being negative. So I was like, I'll go and do it. Now, are you guys familiar with sensory deprivation tanks?
I guess.
So they're half salt, half water.
Okay.
It's like a saltwater bath that like gets completely dark and you're supposed to float in there.
So that like, because there's so much salt, you are actually floating without trying, right? Okay.
Right.
It's like the Dead Sea.
Right. Just like the Dead Sea. There's so much salt that you just automatically float, and the water is the same temperature as your body. So it's supposed to feel like you're floating in nothing. And then you're supposed to have like a hallucinogenic trip because it's supposed to feel like nothing. Now that's not what happened for me. I got in the sensory deprivation tank, put my little, you're supposed to get like naked. So I put my little feet in, and then I got my little ass in there, and I didn't realize the guy was like, hey, if you have any cuts, put this salve on your cuts and stuff. So I didn't realize that like hemorrhoids and stuff are like cuts inside your ass.
Oh my God.
So I put my ass in, and it just felt like I was sitting on the sun. It was fucking horrible. And I was trying, because I like to be a little tough guy. So I was trying to push through, But since all your other senses are deprived, all I could feel was the burning more and more and more inside of my ass. And I was like, I have to be done.
That didn't make you hallucinate?
No, it didn't.
Wow, the fact that you could stay in there for any amount of time is pretty incredible. How long did you stay?
About 7 or 8 minutes. I was like, it'll eventually, because normally, like, you have a cut, you put like, if you get something on it, you're like, it'll go away. But I was like, it'll eventually go away. It just kept hurting more and more and more.
Oh my goodness. Oh,
it got to the point where, like, when I stood up, you know how when you like hurt yourself and you can only stand on your tiptoes? Like, that's how I was like walking. It was horrible.
Apparently I've never hurt myself, and I have.
Nobody stands on their tiptoes when they're in pain. I don't understand what that was either.
All right.
Okay.
Hey.
I think more like fetal position, which is kind of the opposite of standing on your tiptoes, but
I think he was clenching his butthole so tight. So this is a butthole specific pain. Am I right, Tim?
Yes. Oh, I meant like,
you really
when
see
you hurt
him.
Yeah. When you hurt yourself, like, when you fall on your tailbone and you go like, and then you like walk it off. I'm a big walk it off guy, even if like I hurt my head or whatever.
Oh, so that hat says everything.
Mm-hmm. My Colts hat.
Have you had to tell him, like, does Tim start a story? You're at a fancy meeting or a restaurant or something, and you're like, not the ass story now, honey. Do you ever have to do that?
Well, no, I try not to bring him places where I think there's potential for embarrassment.
Okay.
Like he and I aren't going to like work functions or anything. But also I like that ass story. I think it's sweet.
Here's one.
It shows the softer side.
Similarly, when I went to the Dead Sea with my mom, I think I was like 23 years old, and I was sick the night before, sick that morning, and sort of just like being chugged along to the next thing. And like you, I didn't realize that if even you have like an irregular poop, I think I just had like diarrhea, my butt didn't hurt, like nothing happened. But when I got into that water, I'm like, oh, fuck. And it's pouring salt on a wound is a real thing. Holy shit. And it doesn't get better.
I did a saltwater float too years ago, and it burnt my pussy right out.
It's true.
And I don't think it was cut up in there. I mean, I know it is a wound.
It looks like Freddy Krueger down there now.
I was hoping it would burn some of that excess off, but no dice.
No, it still hangs. But it's.
Are you a giving lover, Tim? Are you a
What?
giving lover? Are you a giving
No,
lover?
God, no.
No? You don't got time
we barely love each other. It's
That's not true. We love each other. We just don't
show it. Right. You don't love each other. I follow. Okay.
Yeah.
What is more disgusting or sad to you, Micah? The ass napkins, or that he's legitimately scared of aliens? Which would you rather he told people?
You really have listened to almost like every episode of the podcast. Keith, thank you.
Of course.
What is gross? The ass tampons is disgusting. The aliens is pathetic. It's a tough call. Tim, he talks about how he would kill himself if aliens were to visit us maybe once a week. Like apropos of nothing, he'll just be like, the aliens come, I'm out of here. Like,
if I ever bring it up, it's because I saw a thing on TikTok of like a UFO sighting.
Right. Is it the ass probes and you already have troubles as it is? You're like,
no, I just think they're gonna enslave all of us, and I think it's gonna be no good. And I'm a history
no
buff.
good.
Slavery has been no good for anyone, so I don't want to be
hot
enslaved.
take Tim over here.
We'll say it. You don't care.
Yeah, I'll take a hard stance. Slavery bad.
Yeah, dig that up out of your podcast annals. And
are you kidding? We're turning that into a clip. Clip time.
You know my clip. You're Albanian, Tim. Is that correct?
Yes, at times. Normally, at other times, sometimes I can be a little smart guy, but most times I am a little Albanian man living his life, walking into doorways.
And Micah does an Albanian voice. Can we hear some of that, Micah? What do you do around the house that's so sweet?
Tim hates the Albanian voice. It's the only slur we're not allowed to do in this house.
I just think it's gross.
How's it go? Tim, you describe it if Micah's not comfortable doing it.
No, I don't like doing it either.
Oh, okay.
Here's the thing, because now this is kryptonite. You know,
Who's Albanian in your family? Are your parents immigrant, like direct immigrants? Are you a first
she
generation?
doesn't. Tim,
All right, I'll tell you. Yeah, Albanian is a
Thank
code
you,
word.
Tim. Oh, yes.
It's a code word. Micah, I'm saving Micah because she has a career. It's a code word on our show that we use instead of saying the R word instead.
Okay.
So we try.
So when we call people Albanian, you know, we mean they're really fucking dumb.
Yeah. So we're trying
And
to be nice.
we haven't found one someone from Albanian descent to refute this. So
yours and mine, our friend Kieran Feehan, she has a show and she has it with her boyfriend, and she's always shitting on him. When the four of you are out together,
I'm gonna say Jared is not her. No, he is. I don't even know if you're kidding, but I just want to make sure that everyone knows that Jared is not her fucking boyfriend. He's a little toady hanger-on who I'm sure she will clip off the second his car dies.
I like Jared.
Another hot take by Tim.
Yeah. Nobody likes him.
Nobody likes
I like him.
Okay.
I think the fact that he annoys the shit out of everyone, funny to me.
Here's a
you can
review.
see why he'd defend him.
Yeah.
Here's one of the reviews of the show. I checked out Micah's podcast with her man, and all she does is call him a fat shit. And then he's so fat, he got denied a fat person surgery. I laughed the whole time, they said. Isn't that sweet?
Yeah.
That's
It's a
nice.
good review.
I'd like to, I think, Kenda, I think we spend too much time trying to figure out a description for our show, that kind of thing. The description for their last show, this ep is pretty good.
It was pretty good.
That's the whole description.
That's the name of every clip too.
Right.
Yeah.
You can follow them online, of course. If you want to follow Tim, go to @Mayor of Farttown.
That's right.
Here's what he wrote. Getting surgery is a giant pain in the ass. I had an appointment yesterday and 2 more today. It's like, bitch, I'm very unhealthy. Just work around it. When somebody in this couple tweets out something, is it hurtful when the other person doesn't automatically retweet it? Was that ever a talk? Do you get nervous? Like, oh, that's funny, but not funny enough, sweetheart. Has that ever been a thing that makes you nervous? It makes me nervous. If my partner puts something on social media and I'm like, I didn't find it that funny, I have to ignore like I didn't see it. Is that ever a thing?
Micah is good at Twitter. So if she retweets something, whatever I put up was good. Most of the things I put up are absolutely terrible, and I know they're not good. So I'm not going to get mad at her. I'm not going to get upset with her for not retweeting. Now, I retweet some of her stuff. I can't retweet all of it, or I look like a little simp bitch. So I have to retweet only some of it and the things I find the most funny.
I never have to ask him to do that because I have enough of a following that I don't need his 1,000 followers to see what I wrote.
2,446.
Tim, is that one of the nicest things you've ever said to Micah? Because that was very sweet.
Possibly. It might be. It might be up there. It might be up in the top 10. We could do a Letterman top 10.
What is Tim's greatest quality, Micah?
Oh, I know it's hard to tell from the show, but it's his sense of humor.
You fucking bitch. Such a dumbass bitch. It's so rude. I've been pretty funny. I did that whole Moriarty thing. Everybody lost their fucking
Everyone
shit
loved
about
it. They were stunned into silence.
Whatever I was looking at next, I'm like, oh, who knows? Who the fuck knows what he just said? Tim tweeted out, today is officially 2 years without a cigarette. I wanted to write something funny about it, but all I can think about is how badly I want to smoke to celebrate my achievement. How's that going? 2 years, that's a long time. No more stress, is there? Based on like, oh, I want to smoke.
No, I still want to smoke every day.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I still want one. I want to wake up, go have a cigarette, have coffee, sit outside and smoke. My time outside has been cut in a like 3/4 of my time outside is gone because I don't go out to smoke cigarettes.
Were you almost more healthy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, And I mean, I was getting lung infections every other month, so I had to quit. But Micah would tell you, she would lay on my she would say that she couldn't stand how my lungs sounded while she would like put her head on my chest or whatever.
You could hear like there was like internal wheezing that like it sounded. I can make the noises. It sounded like. And I'm like, dear God. And I'd be like, you want to go to the doctor? He's like, oh, I'm kind of afraid it's lung cancer. I'm like, you have to fucking go. And then he went and it turned out he had like a lung infection for like 6 straight months. So I probably saved his fucking worthless life.
It's not worthless. I got $9,000.
Oh, I was like, you have me.
Yeah, that's what my chest sounded like before they found out that there was a giant tumor in there. So I think Micah did save your life.
Yeah. I mean, I got look, I'm glad you got the tumor out and you're healthy.
Me too. Thanks.
But yeah, I had to, I always, whenever the boys are, Jesus, Micah, whenever the boys are smoking, I always go just stand in the middle of them so I can smell the cigarettes.
Yeah. Do you ever like stand in the middle of cancer patients because you miss your tumor?
Answer honestly.
Tim tweeted, I made my girlfriend shit the bed by putting her hand in a warm glass of diarrhea. Is that a true story?
That was an A+. That's an A+ tweet from the Timster. I gotta be honest.
You're free to call him the Timster too.
Nobody
else wants to do it, but
nobody else wants to do it. They call me like Doughboy and Fatty and Fatty laugh, go ha ha, stuff like that.
Is he good with showing signs of affection or gifts? You know, with that you got to cover that, I assume, when you're not working. Oh
yeah, I mean, well, he gave me a gift like right in the beginning of us dating. That was the sweetest thing. He wrapped it up in this beautiful grocery store bag, and it was a giant T-shirt commemorating 9/11. And no one has given me a better gift in my life. I wear it almost every day.
It's firefighters putting up the flag on the on ground zero, and I figured, I go, Micah's a sick fuck. You know who will like this shirt? Micah, and she wears it to bed every night.
Aw.
And you don't do crazy lovemaking with that on. That's interesting. But all right.
No, that's the only time we do.
Yeah.
Micah,
the towers aren't the only things that go down.
Micah wrote, man, women, it's all disgusting interspecies sex with hashtag @Superman. And then somebody said, what? And Micah said, Superman's bi now. Read a book.
Sometimes the follow-up's better than the initial. You got to stick with me.
Do you guys think it should be legal to have kids? She writes. Did that ever have to be a discussion? Yeah.
We've been on the same page, but we brought it up, you know.
Yeah, I don't want to have children, and Micah sometimes does when she sees a cute baby on TV.
That's not true.
And yes, one day you were like, not true. You were like, but what if we did have a kid? Remember? And you got all excited, and I was like, no.
I forget what it was. I don't think it was I'm not baby on commercial level in my biological clock like that. It hasn't gotten that far. I generally don't like babies. I do have a niece that I fucking adore. And so there's a little bit of that where I'm like, oh, it would be like, I get where it would be exciting to have a baby because of that.
Yeah.
But I don't want to make a baby. If like I could get Tim pregnant, I might be excited to do it.
Not the way that asshole's working out.
But also, I don't want to raise one. Like, you know, I get annoyed at the cat when it wakes me up early.
You want a niece? That sounds right.
Yeah, I want a niece.
Yeah, we'd have to move out of New York probably if we got a kid, and neither of us really want to do that.
Why would you have to move out of New York?
Space
for the space. I guess we could turn Micah's office into a baby's room, but we're both.
But then you would have to go to work.
Right. Then I'd have to go to work, which sucks. I don't want to do that.
Then we have to get childcare. I don't know. Plus, like the world's burning. You know what I mean? What am I giving them? I don't want to give my kid a world where you're not even allowed to make a comedy special insulting whoever the fuck you want. What kind of a planet are we giving them?
I mean, the most eco-conscious thing that we can do, Micah and I could litter every single day. We could litter every single day for the rest of our lives. and it wouldn't have the impact that it would if we brought another person into this world.
And that's what Tim cares about, is the environmental impact. He talks about it all the time.
Well, I just like that we think he's doing nothing all day. He's doing very impressive math.
Right.
Yes.
The thing is, here's what's crazy is Tim would make an excellent dad, I think.
I'm like a stupid
Because he's
child.
a child.
Yeah.
He knows
But
all
I
the
think-
games.
But he's also, Tim is very patient. He's very slow to anger. That's the thing is, like, you guys are like, is she tender? I'm like, I don't need to be, because Tim takes everything the right way.
I just
which
want you all
is
to
very
know,
important.
and I agree with you, but I just want all the fathers to listen to how low the bar is. Okay. Now, and this is not against you. This is against like what we expect from fathers. He's slow to anger.
Well, but I mean, like, I think I would be easier to piss off as a mother than he would be as a father. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think I'd be as patient as Tim would be.
Yeah, I get that. My brother Michael is crazy patient with his two kids, and he'll sit there and go, no, try it again, do it again. And, the kid will throw something on the floor and he'll be like, yeah, the kid's experimenting. He wants to see how it gets thrown. But you could see that it's just this process, and you're watching this little kid. And I think I would be as patient as people think I am. I think I'd be like, let me just put this sock on for you. You'll get it eventually.
Yeah.
I think Micah would be a little more patient than she thinks, because the cat is a fucking asshole, like literally all the time. And Micah is the most patient person I've ever seen with her. She's just like, what? What do you mean, Tim? Don't be mad at her. It's 6 a.m. and she's batting at the door to go outside. She's like, it's cute. It's cute that she wakes us up every day at 6 a.m. by being a dickhead.
Yeah, but babies aren't really furry and soft.
They're soft.
But they don't purr and clean themselves.
I mean,
That's
have
true.
a Middle Eastern baby, they'll be a little furry.
But soft?
What would you say, Tim, is what does Micah do that annoys you the most? Like that you normally couldn't say, but now you can because it's sandwiched between jokes.
Oh, I don't, whatever she does, I just there's nothing I don't tell her that's annoying. I'll tell you the most annoying thing she fucking does.
Okay.
It's she gets on her phone we'll watch a movie and she'll be like this the entire time we're watching the movie, right? And I'm like, will you watch the fucking movie? And then like later in the movie, she'll be like, hey, who's that guy? And I'm like, he's the main fucking character of the movie, Micah. He's been in the movie the entire fucking time. She's like, and then I'm like, to watch it. She's like, I am watching. This is how
my
I
God.
watch.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
my boyfriend does that too.
Infuriating.
And the thing is I'm like, you know what? Let everybody watch the fucking movie with their own experience. But then something like that comes up and it's like, oh, that scene is different than it was. And I'm like, we've been watching this scene for like 10 minutes. No, I'm totally watching. All right, enjoy the movie. Whatever.
Here's the thing. I got no problem with her doing that. If that's how she wants to watch a movie, that's fine. Now, the rule is you're not allowed to ask any questions about what's going on if that's how you choose to watch the movie.
The rule? Is that the rule?
That's the rule, and I came up with it now.
Tim's
and that's
movie rules to have a fun time watching movies.
Does she do this? Does she do this? Like you're watching a movie and she doesn't know where it is because, the intensity or wherever it is in the movie, no idea. Gets to an intense part. She doesn't know that it's happening and puts the phone in front of your face. Hey, have you seen this?
No, but I do that.
Tim does that to me.
I'll do that.
So
I'll do that during TV shows.
What?
This is the most hypocritical conversation we've ever had.
It's not that hypocritical because Michael will be like, we should watch a movie together and we'll agree on a movie. Now we'll be watching a TV show that I don't really care about that Michael wants to watch that I'm not giving a fuck about. And then I'll look at TikTok the entire time and I'll show her cute animals.
That's
Now,
an
whose side are you
asshole
on?
move. Oh, you know what?
Hey, I'm not saying it's not an asshole move. I'm not defending myself. I'm just saying that's what I do. That's my thing that I love to do.
Oh, do you just get to do it just by calling yourself an asshole? That's amazing. I don't have to change because I know I'm an asshole.
I think that's how the city of New York runs.
My girlfriend will pick a movie, but I don't know. She thinks like, you ever see these people? They pick movies. And it's like, well, how don't you know? The font says it's going to be cheap and bad. Like, don't you know that? And then she plays it. And the next thing I know, she's asleep. Like
Stephen
she's laying on the
Baldwin's-
couch. I'm like, this
Stephen Baldwin's on the poster of this.
Right. Can you tell? Let's see. Tim tweeted, Back when I was hanging window coverings, I would sometimes walk into an unfinished apartment and be like, damn, I wish they put something on these windows. The sun is brutal. Then as I was reaching to hang the blinds, I'm like, oh, damn, that's my job. Do you miss it?
Yeah. Yes, I like that job. I did that for 14 years. I miss doing it.
Are you going back to it?
Yeah, go back to it.
Well, I used to do it in Indiana. My dad owns a window coverings company in Indiana. He owns MCL window coverings. And if you're in Indiana or the Midwest area, if you need window coverings, call 317-577-2670 at MCL window coverings. Our rods are well hung. So
what's the best window covering going today?
Okay, so the nicest window coverings I've ever put up were they were Hunter Douglas honeycomb silhouette shades that went in this. I put up 6 of them.
Tim, slow down and say it with a lower voice.
I put up 6 of them in this woman's house, and it cost $74,000 for the 6 of them.
Wow.
What the fuck?
They were like they had motors and stuff, and they had remote controls, and they were all like self-guided. I mean, the lady's house was huge, and she had a glass grand piano. So,
wow. Did you worked with your father? You guys get along? Do you have the same sense of humor?
He doesn't find as many things funny as I do, but we get along really well. Like Micah was making 9/11 jokes the other week, and my dad was appalled.
Furious. I made one because I forgot that Tim's dad really, really hates that. But then Tim's friends kept it going, and so I did start a problem.
My dad loves the military, and you can't do any military jokes, and you can't do any 9/11 jokes. So
because that's what he loves, but make fun of everything else. Okay.
Yeah, but you make fun of anything else, which I understand is hypocritical. So I still make fun of those. I try not to. Like if someone's like, "Hey, I don't like that kind of stuff," I try not to make fun of it. But if I do, I'm like, "What are you gonna do?"
Yeah, you did. I did my fucking best. Micah tweeted out, comedy is so much harder than drama. Everyone thinks a dying dog is sad, but only a few people think it's funny. So this is the sense of humor we're talking about. I
fucking love it.
Yeah.
What can I say? I'm great at what I do.
That's a great tweet.
You really are.
That got a Timster retweet, I'll tell you that. And we are still pushing Timster, by the way.
Micah wrote, just released a fart cloud so bad it came down as rain.
Been there.
No, that's not pandemic,
guys. What are you gonna do? You share a small space, you're eating crap food for months at a time. Listen, the mystery is gone.
Dude, the other day Micah was hungover. I haven't been drinking, so I felt fine.
Yeah,
I was watching.
Tim.
I was watching football all day. Micah's hungover as fuck. She's in bed. And the door had been closed. I hadn't been in there in an hour. I opened the door. It was like walking through a thick cloud. I was like, oh my God. And then she lifted the blanket and more came out. It was unbelievable.
It was so funny too, because it was bad even to me. I had made all these eggs for breakfast and just
she was dropping bombs.
It was so
wild.
bad. And he walked in. I was like, oh, he seems okay. Just sort of trying to be chill about it. Cause it, hadn't been recently, but it was just like the levels of how much fart had been in that room that wasn't escaping.
Yeah.
By the way, how did they make romantic movies? There is no couple who is not experiencing this on some level. And they try to sell us with the, here are the days. You might have a fight every 2 years, but you'll resolve it and then go out on a nice date with candles. This is the real thing. You guys have made it.
Are you guys?
Yeah.
I know you guys doubted us, but
oh yeah, very much so. Are you guys good at fights? Are you able to say your point and listen to the other person?
We don't ever really fight.
We barely ever fight.
Okay. What was the last argument about?
I don't even know, really. What was the last thing we fought about that I got real mad about? Because normally I'll get real mad about something.
The maddest he gets is about me looking at my phone during movies things.
That is the maddest I get.
Honestly.
I do lose my shit about that. But
you know, and like when we do any kind of like home repair, and then we have to like work together on a thing. And also, okay, and I blame Tim. Tim will be like, I'll be like, hey, can you hang this picture? And he'll just immediately with a drill just go into the wall. And I'm like, let me fucking show you where. Like what? Like what?
I thought it looked good where I put the hole.
And then I'm just like, what the fuck? We have, no joke, 18 holes behind our hung TV.
All right, but
18.
I can explain.
Wait, no,
those.
let me explain it. Let me.
All right, you explain it, then I'll give my side.
Okay, so the apartment is put together shabbily, right? So it's not okay. So the studs are probably not like perpendicular to the floor or whatever. But so he's looking for a stud, can't find one. So he's like one, and then he's like maybe a couple inches to left. So now he's made like 5 holes, and I'm just like watching this like, dear fucking God, right?
Wait, but there's a thing called a stud finder.
It's not working.
It didn't work.
It's not working, whatever.
No options.
So and they're not wood studs, it's like metal studs, and I think they're like kind of
Wait. It might not be working because it's not finding a stud.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I did it across the whole wall.
He did. So he's looking for a stud. There's no fucking right. So then he's so frustrated because it'll say there's a stud. Then he drills into it. There's no fucking stud. Then it'll say, and so he drills it. There's no fucking stud. Then now at this point, I know I'm furious because we've moved into this place is like 3 weeks old, 2 weeks old. It had brand new everything. I'm like, and now there's so many fucking holes in the wall. And I want to say something, but you can tell like this is one of those things you just fucking, I'm like, I'd rather have him destroy the whole house than have this fucking fight. Next thing you know, he's just so angry. He just starts going, boosh, 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 just like hole after hole after hole. So now there are 18.
They're covered by the TV.
Yeah, that's your side.
Okay, so my side of the story is that I didn't know that first floor apartments in New York have metal studs. I had no idea. I did not know that. I did not know that was a thing. I thought it was all wood studs. That's all I've ever been used to. I'm pretty handy. Like this story makes it sound like I'm not very handy. Like I was making money as a handyman before this. Like I know what I'm doing. So like this TV would have been my like 600th TV that I've hung up in a house, right? I know how to do it. I just didn't know that there were metal studs. And Micah's right. I got incredibly angry and I just started drilling holes into the wall until I found a stud, which I never found. And there are a bunch of holes in the wall. Now,
you know what's nice?
Is that on me?
She did say
I think
that
it's society's fault.
Of course. She did say that you're slow to anger, but you get there.
Yeah, I do get there. And
it's shit like that. Or like if like when we hung this thing behind us, right? That's like a 2-person job because it's like a big thing. And so then I'll try and help him, like don't help. And then he'll like immediately, like the only time he angers like, lift the thing, but he can't use his words, because he's Albanian. So like he'll just scream in anger like a fucking child.
She should intuitively know what I want. If we were really meant to be together, she would.
I love it. That this is very rare that Keith and I are reacting by just nodding our head, like
taking it in.
Yeah, yes, taking it in because you might be a perfect couple. This is.
That's right.
It's kind of crazy though. Yeah.
So this was like what? Was this a year before the pandemic that you got together?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you learn anything all of a sudden when the pandemic hit and everybody's around each other all the time? Or was
that's
different?
What's great about knowing that you're a piece of shit before, like no surprises.
Yeah, there weren't too many. I mean, Tim?
Nah. Just that the only thing I guess I really learned is that the smallest inconveniences can send Micah into an absolute spiral. Like just when she's like, he's very patient. It's like my life is full. Every day of my life, not recently, but it used to be, was full of every inconvenience you could possibly imagine. So I just like, it's no big deal. But like any of the tiniest thing, Micah's like, can you even believe that we have to do? And I'm like, yes, it's fine. It's no big deal. You live in New York, a city of inconvenience. What are you talking about?
Right.
She's like, we normally don't fly out of LaGuardia.
Tim didn't get his opportunity to say what's wrong with me, but you did. It was the phone thing, but now you're taking a double.
I'm just saying that's what I learned.
Right. You think, you saw me handle inconveniences less. I do kind of lose it pretty fast.
But I do, I get it, to have like a more passive partner. Sometimes I'm just like, hey, can you just say that this is upsetting? That's all. I don't have to be upset about it. That's not what I'm trying to get a pass for. Can you just say that that is upsetting? And then I could actually move on, because then I'm not crazy.
Yeah, I will admit that Micah is upset.
No, Tim. No, but he'll be like, stop being so negative. And I'm like, just fucking, I am frustrated. You're not going to, you know what I mean? You don't. Yeah, you got blame the snake for the poison, not the snake bite victim.
Yeah, just say this doesn't feel blamer. Good.
Yeah.
I've been better about it. I have been better about being like, yeah, that really sucks. And then being like, oh my God, what the fuck? What a fucking dumbass.
Thanks, Tim.
No, I feel that because I actually asked Xerxes to do that. And then, what do you do when you give someone a script and then they do the script to you? You're like, yeah, I have to accept that. So I go, yeah, this is upsetting. Will you admit this is upsetting? And he's like, oh, I'm sorry that that's upsetting to you. And I'm like, yeah, that is what I wanted. Thank you. And I know you're just reading from a script, but now I need that expression. You might have been even saying it in your head, but it's not such a big deal. It'll pass in a second. But now that you said, yes, that is upsetting, I'm like, thank you. And now I will do other things.
Yeah.
See, now they're nodding.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you're right. And I'm agreeing.
Oh no, I was sitting there trying to think of a better script than that. Like, Micah, you're right. Your life is unfair and full of unnecessary hardship. Let me do everything I can to change it.
I want to mention, speaking of fights, tomorrow is our live virtual game show, Silent Trailers.
Oh, that's excited. Fun.
I'm going to be destroying Melody Kamali, Allie Clayton, Samantha Ruddy, Goofy Grapes himself, John F. O'Donnell. So you never know what you're going to get.
Hey, J5.
Goofy Grapes. That fucking bit is so funny.
He was going to come up with his version of Bitcoin.
And yeah.
Yeah, and it's the emoji of a grape emoji. He was going to somehow make everybody understand the grape emoji is worth money.
Oh, I thought it was going to be losing it coin.
Damn, Micah, got him.
KeithAndTheGirl.com/tickets. Keith and the Girl VIPs get a free ticket, of course. Go to KeithAndTheGirl.com/VIP for your ticket to Silent Trailers, or sign up to VIP at the same link and get your ticket to tomorrow's event. Also, you're watching this on YouTube? Well, thank you then. Thanks for clicking like. Thanks for your excellent comments. Here's one that I thought was fun. STFA Knee says, I definitely pictured Keith's expressions differently listening all these years. It's a whole new ball game watching this podcast. Wonder what they imagined. Jade Gwen says, so Hemda is Middle Eastern? Yes, but we like to keep it on the down low. We won't lie about it, but if no one's asking,
Yeah, unlike the Swedish Hemdas we all know and love.
When you guys, when you do stand up, do you guys watch each other?
I watch Micah almost every time. So I get a nice little Instagram picture of her and I can put a little caption like something like, I don't know, Micah doing her unique style of in-your-face stand-up comedy.
It's taking up the whole screen.
He does that. He does that for every stand-up he does, so that way he doesn't have to think of a clever thing every time.
Did you guys ever have to say to the other person, hey, that's my joke. I kind of made it up in the living room, not you. Anything like that ever happen?
Sort of, but nothing major.
No. I'll throw a bit away quick. Like if there's ever a problem, I just throw a bit away immediately. It doesn't really matter to me.
Have you ever said a personal story on stage? And it's like, yeah, maybe eventually it'd be funny, but I'm still mad at you. We didn't really fix the whatever. Does that ever happen?
Well, we don't have issues like that.
No, okay. There's only one thing Mike don't like me talking about on stage, and I stay away from it sometimes unless I think of it in the moment, and then
9/11.
He brings it up. He does it all the fucking time. So I don't know this.
What is it, Tim?
Like, what is it?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
you do you want me? Now,
what? I was trying to be a nice guy. I didn't know they'd ask another question.
Tim, you are such a piece of shit.
What?
You knew that?
No.
Look at you go. Look
Listen,
at him. Look, do you see the
if you
devil
want-
in his face?
If you
can
want to
it.
see it, if you want to see it, you can go to hot_comic69 on Instagram. And I may or may not have it in one of my clips. I don't.
Do you really?
No.
Oh, I'm excited.
No, Micah may or may not.
What are you doing right now? What are you fucking doing?
No, I'm not going to tell. I can't tell. It'll make Micah upset, so I'm not going to say it.
What
It
could
won't-
it be?
here's the thing.
Even?
It's Micah's. It's Micah's
It's
thing
he
to tell.
reveals stuff about me and like my like personal history. So it's like not about him.
That's the one thing that's another thing I've been having to work on. Micah's because I'm an open book. Anything about me is fine to talk
Tim
about.
can't keep a secret for shit.
Right. I'll keep a secret if someone's like, hey, you can't tell anyone this. I'll
That's
forget
not
it.
true.
But like
He'll forget that you told him to keep it a secret. He cannot keep a secret. I'll have like something cooking, like a job opportunity, and you know how those things go. You want to keep it really quiet until it's like fully done. Tim will have told like an entire room full
I'm
of people.
proud of my girlfriend.
People come up to me like, hey, I heard about this opportunity. I'm like,
Oh my God.
it's
Oh
like it
my
hasn't,
God.
it's so
It also doesn't give
Yeah.
you the opportunity to tell people.
right.
I'm bragging on my girlfriend. I feel bad. Micah yelled at me about it. I felt bad about it. I was like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. So I'm trying not to tell Micah's shit if Micah doesn't want me to.
Wow.
Yeah,
'Cause
Candace floored.
I'm pretty open too. Well, maybe not. Maybe I'm not, but
No, you're shaking your head no, Tim.
No, not as
I
open.
think you
not as
are
open
pretty
as I am.
open. You're just more discerning than he is about the topics.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you about anything.
I
So what?
do-
So what's your childhood like? The worst thing about your childhood?
Oh, nothing. My childhood was fine. I guess the worst thing about my
So what
childhood was
happened?
getting molested at a Dairy Queen in Downers Grove, Illinois.
How old were you?
I was like 8 or 10 or something. It was fair. I mean, it's fine. It wasn't that big a deal. This dude came up and he was like, do you guys have any change? And then he stuck his hand in my friend John and I's pocket and then felt our penises.
Wait a second. At the same time? I
No, he
didn't know
put
there
his
was
hand
another
in
boy
John's.
there.
Yeah, he put it in John. And I think that's what turned John gay, but I don't really even know.
So wait, but if that's true, then you're probably gay.
Oh no. Bum, bum, bum.
Wait, he reached into a pocket specifically to look for, like he went for it. What
yeah,
happened?
he goes, do you guys have any change? And we were like, no. And then he stuck his hand in our pockets anyways, and then played with our dongs.
Wait, at the
Whoa.
same time?
No, he did John. He did it to John, and then
You
me.
waited in line?
And I said, "Me next, please, sir."
What? You watched
I said
it happen,
he
and
was
then you
trying.
did it?
He was trying to leave.
This
and
whole
I go,
time you were pretending you're a victim.
he was trying to leave, and I go, excuse me, I
might
didn't
have
get my
change.
turn.
Right.
What did
That
you
is
do?
insane.
You froze.
Yeah, we froze, and then we got our ice cream, and we went back and we told our moms about it. And my mom went to the Dairy Queen ready to fucking kill someone. They dragged us. We got in a car. They drove us right back there, and they were like, "Where the fuck is he?" And I was like, "Uh-oh, I'm gonna watch my mom murder a man today."
Was it a person who worked there?
No, it was just some stranger.
Did they ever find him?
No, it wasn't, because it was like, mild molestation.
Okay.
Oh, they
That's weird.
don't look into that.
No one's nodding.
No.
Okay.
We don't look into that.
So
Sorry,
what
the
did,
cops came. They go, "Sorry, this isn't on our radar."
what did you think of your mom's response? Like when you were young, and how about now?
Oh, I thought it was cool. Even back then, I was like, "Hell yeah, my mom's gonna fuck this guy up." I thought it was cool. One time, I told my mom that someone was like, she was trying to parallel park. I go, "That lady just flipped you off," and she goes, "She did what?" And I was like, "Oh no."
Would you ever try to get her riled up? Like,
Yeah,
would that
all the
be
time.
deliberate? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I do it. I'm an annoying man. I do it on purpose constantly.
Tim does love to annoy on purpose. It is.
Yeah. It's super fun to do. I do it to my brother real good too. My brother doesn't really he's not very patient. So he's easy to rile up as well.
Do you and your brother physically fight?
No, we never really physically fought. I beat him in a wrestling match at our house once. And then he got up and like a little bitch gave me a Charlie horse in the leg. Like just kneed me in the leg as he was walking away. And I just went to my room because I was like, I don't need to fuck my brother up in my parents' house. I don't need to like beat the shit out of him. And then my dad had to sit him down and explain to him that I would have absolutely killed him if we were in an actual fight. And then my brother apologized.
All right. Are you going to all get together for Thanksgiving?
We're going to Micah's, where I'm meeting Micah's family for Thanksgiving.
Micah, you're talking to your family?
Yeah.
Your mom?
Kind of. Yeah, I talked to her this year. Mm-hmm.
How's it going?
Okay. Whoa. Wow. Whoa.
Yeah. You know.
Okay.
Sounds good.
That's
Sounds
fair.
good.
No, that's ooh. So Thanksgiving with both of them?
I think so. We haven't planned the trip yet, but yeah, like, you know, one day with one and then another day with the other. You know, obviously we're not going to like same room it. That would be really insane and ambitious.
Is your twin sister there still?
Yeah, my brother still lives in Arizona. My sister might come out depending if like she can vaccinate my niece. And
wow.
Mm-hmm.
Look at you.
I'm excited
you
to meet Micah's dad.
her. Sorry, what's that, Tim?
I'm excited to meet Micah's dad because he loves to game.
Oh, okay. You know, people who have complicated with their complicated relations with their parents love when people are looking forward to meeting them.
Well, I'm not looking forward to meeting Micah's mom. Micah, but her dad seems cool. She'll talk to him on the phone. I'm like, this seems like an all right guy.
Apparently, she's part of the package. Follow these people online. Myka Fox, of course, under her name, and Tim, of course, is the mayor of Fart Town. How'd that happen? How'd that come about, becoming the mayor?
The mayor, well, I was voted in. I've got some pretty good fart stories. I've told them on the pod, but I've made several people throw up from my farts.
That's so not true.
I've made two people throw up from my farts.
I'm really picturing the smell of their home, honestly.
So this is my best. I'll tell my best story. This is my best one.
Okay.
I was going to college at Columbia College in Chicago because I am at my heart an artist. So I was going to Columbia College in Chicago, and we lived by a White Castle, and I was like, and one night my roommates and I were like, let's get a crave case. We're all going to get one and try to, we'll all have you have an eating challenge so you can eat the crave case, which is 30 White Castle sandwiches. And White Castle ruins me for the next day, right? Just drop bombs and they're disgusting. So I ate about 20 White Castles. I didn't get the whole crave case down. I was very upset with myself. But the next day I had to drive up to Evanston from downtown. So that's like a 40-minute drive in Chicago with some traffic. It's like 40 minutes. And I'm in my buddy Matt's car and we're going to film something. And I farted in Matt's car and he had to open the doors and pull the car over and just get out. Like, he's like, I have to get out and get like real air. It was a bit dramatic, I think, but he pulled the car over, opened all the doors and got out. And, then we got back in, we start going up. We had to film some stuff and it got a little cooler. It was like an October day. So it got a little cooler at night. Matt said, I was taking the blue line home. I was taking the blue line back. He had a car full of people. He said he went to turn on the heat and my fart came out of the vent back into the car from earlier.
No.
And he said he had to pull over and a girl threw up. A girl that was sitting in the back seat leaned out of the car and vomited. And he called me while I was on the train and I picked up the phone. And he's telling me this and I am like doing a dance on the train. I was like, yes, I'm the greatest man alive. He was so mad at me for like a week because it was like his regular school friends. And they were like, what the fuck, Matt? And they were mad at him. So he was like pissed at me.
Wow.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
I'm 35.
How old's Micah?
Micah is 22.
Some people say an age difference like that can't work, but I think, we're the first to do it, and we'll prove them all wrong.
Men are so immature. You're probably at the same level now.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a real Hugh Hefner, Kendra Sunderland situation going, or Sutherland. I can't remember her name.
Well, I'll tell you, I was just going to say, sorry, seeing you both together, and after all this time, I didn't know how it would turn out. But I think you're made for each other, and I don't think anybody's leaving the other person anytime soon, and that's beautiful to see.
Oh, I'm sticking around, baby. You're gonna have to work hard to get rid of me. I'll tell you that. The best my life's ever been.
Both of you, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us on.
KeithAndTheGirl.com